Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to everybody on YouTube. To those of you who are watching on the live stream, why have I done an introduction in the middle? Well, it's because this is a good way to get a bit up onto YouTube without having too many video skills, at least in the editing. So, we are in the Thargoid War, whatever number it is. Like off the top of my head, I think it's the third or the fourth one, but we're on day 2. And there are a lot of people putting together ad hoc fleets. Here we are in HIP 23167. I'll check when I leave the screen. And one of the things I've been found out was much more useful yesterday was not just throw in the chieftain and do some just straight AX with cannons and shard cannons and all of that stuff, but to actually support everybody. So dug out the old T10, which I'd built as a build previously just to see what it would be like as an attack ship in Thargoid, and it wasn't very good. Hands up who's surprised. Exactly. So, didn't want to make some materials, stuck it in storage. What I've done now is we've turned it over into a repair tender, a service ship, a sort of battlefield support MASH unit. And I've got a MASH unit for when we're just doing normal PvE in the before time. So here we have, as always, of course, it's a nice bright yellow. Got the handy word repair all over it, in case you're not quite sure. It's proudly displaying the Hut and Druckers. And of course, I haven't got any ship kit mods or anything on here. It is just looks wise, your normal T10 painted bright yellow. Because, yeah, there's no point getting the back stuff. And you got your ridiculous amount of space and everything else going on. So let's have a little look at the build. Then we're going to fly it out, and there might be some clips afterwards on channel, or you might just get it built. I don't know, haven't decided yet. Doing it live. So let's just head into the build menu. So, Hardpoints. It's still got to do combat, and one of the things that I found it was causing a bit of headaches there were a lot more scouts in the very high intensity combat zone. So, top surface of the ship is the AX Multicannons. Placement, of course, is a bit weird, but essentially the entire top surface. That way is AX Multicannons for taking out scouts. There we go. Underneath, bottom, we have 2 remote release flak launchers. Now, if I was doing this solo or being a bit more aggressive, I would put 3 in here so we could do much more one-shot onto a swarm. But we're going to be in CZs which have more than 4 people, so 2 is going to be enough when needed. Third spot there is not taken up by another remote release flak launcher. It's taken up by a turreted beam laser. Unsurprisingly, it's got thermal vent. 2 reasons. 1, keeps me cold when I need to. 2, allows me to tag the interceptors from, as you can see there, 6 kilometers out. So I can be far enough away from the battlefield, tag it, still get the credits. There's the other 2 multicannons at the top. Sitting in the front, class 1 beam. That one's got regeneration sequence, so if I'm in a wing, somebody has shields, there's a lot of beginners out there, we can help it regenerate the shields. And on the other side we got the concordant as well, so they can recharge faster. Again, engineered out to 6 kilometers. Utility mounts, heatsink, 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 heatsink. Shutdown field neutralizer, because it's really handy to have that one on the battlefield, especially now if you have a keybind. You can just go bang on the keyboard and you're done. Xeno scanner, proves useful information. Not going to be not burned down all the heat sinks yet in combat, so I think we're safe there. And of course all the heat sinks are extra ammo capacity, so it's carrying 3 and 1 up the spout instead of 2 and 1 up the spout. Core internals, pretty obvious for an AX build. Military grade composites. It is using Guardian hybrid power plants because this was a ship that was quickly put together, and that's the quickest way to get the equivalent of an overcharged. It's 7.8, keeps the temperature down a little bit. Thruster 70, fully engineered. Frame shift, not fully engineered if I remember right, just enough to get a decent amount of distance, but not too much wastage on raw materials. Life support 5D, I can synth if needed. Weight helps, similar with sensors, which are there. Long range, but again 4D for lightweightness. Power distributor, again this was just one in, that's equivalent of G4 charge enhanced, so happy with that, and it's working out quite nicely. Fuel tank, nicely big. Okay, now optional internals. Have a think. You're pretty sure what's going to be here. 1, AFMU. This is a shieldless build. it is going to take damage inside. So, I've moved ridiculous amounts of a repair capacity sitting in there. Repair limpet controller, pretty obvious why we've got that one there. I could put this to 70, but I'm going to have to go out and find one which is ready to go now. So, the difference between 70 and 70 is literally the range. Things like repair capacity, speed, all of that. Exactly the same no matter what number 7 class you get. So, keeps the weight down as well. So, a little bit more maneuverable. It is a T10 after all. Cargo rack, 60 was way too little. 32 seems to fit. We'll find out if 64 is enough. Guardian modular reinforcement package should just flag up. Got 3 of them there to get the maximum out of stacking, so 96% protection. Very useful if you get caught in the lightning. Stops the shutdown happening most of the time. Not the shutdown field, that's what Neutraliser is for. This is from the lightning attacks. Hull reinforcement, class 5, maxed out in the 2 military slots there to have as many hit points on the hull as possible. Same here, we've got a class 4, not quite maxed out. With the mats, just a little bit wary of just doing a full grade 5 on everything. There's a grade 3 and a grade 2. You could switch this out for grade 1, but I wanted the stack effect here. And the only other one to note here is we have a decon limpet in here. Now, decontamination, really useful. You can't keep heating this thing up to 250. First of all, it takes too long. Because there aren't any guardian weapons or anything on here that generate a lot of heat. So, sticking this T10 into silent running just takes too long. And so you got a slow climb up. So you stay in that damage zone quite a lot. And if you have to get this to 250, because you've hit caustic from the interceptors, too much damage inside. Decon limit. Also, of course, if you've got people out there who just don't understand, don't know about going into silent running to burn the caustic substance off, chuck a decon limpet at them. We're all helping out each other. And for those who need muckle repairs, then you have that one. So I'm thinking the domain here is like repair capacity is about 450 there, and if you had a class 3 repair limpet here, it's like 180, but it's only repair capacity of 70. So caustic and a little bit of save, lots of save. Save yourself. It's all there. No fighters, don't do fighters. Certainly not when you're doing AX combat and you've got more people around. It just kills all the server connections. So that's there. That is the T10 support build. Just to help it out, it's got repair written on the side. That's also the 6-digit name for the short code, as you can see there. Repair underneath. It also has the word support in the ship title to support repair. Hopefully people are just padding through and get that. And Debbie McGee, the most famous magician's assistant of all time, depending on how you count Pendulum. Right, that's the ship, that's the T10. For those of you watching on YouTube, I will put a link to the build in the description. For those of you watching on Twitch, I'll pop that into the chat there as well. If you want to watch along and you're watching on YouTube, twitch.tv/UNSmiths. If you're watching on Twitch and you want to see what we're doing on YouTube, it's modernspectrumgaming.com. That should take you through to YouTube as well. And now we get the hilariousness. God, let me get an outside view. Give me an outside view. There we go. The hilariousness of getting a T10 out of the station. Don't even think I want to try and do this on a... I can't remember how to switch. Yeah, we're all have done takeoff missions. That's why I went straight to the camera. Launch. Now we can go to the external camera. Let's see if we can get this out in third party, shall we? Oh! Why do I get the feeling that's a bug, or if I just move myself up very slightly? Okay. Wings are down. Takeoff's a go. I don't think I can do this in third party anymore. Right. To the battlefield.